Powered by the Montana Television Network. This is the 10 o'clock news on Q2, Montana's news leader.
Good evening and thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Jay Kohn. Janelle is off tonight. Terrorists strike innocent people in Barcelona, Spain as a van plows into a crowd of tourists in the city's historic district. Tonight, Spanish authorities strike back, killing 5 terrorists in what appears to be a second terror attack. Today, at least 13 people killed, another 100 injured, including 1 American, in the attack in Barcelona when a van plowed through the crowd at a popular pedestrian shopping area. 2 suspects tonight are under arrest, but it appears the driver of the van got away. Tonight, Spanish police say they have killed 5 people south of the city in response to a second attack. CBS's Terry Okita is in Barcelona now with the very latest.
Spanish police say they thwarted a second attack overnight in a resort town south of Barcelona. They shot and killed 5 suspects. That's after a van was used as a deadly weapon in Barcelona, mowing down pedestrians in the popular Las Ramblas district. People were out shopping, strolling, or dining at the time of the attack. Residents and tourists ran for safety, and nearby buildings were locked down.
We saw all these people, tourists running with bags, moms, kids, everybody trying to find some shelter in some of the buildings around.
Spanish authorities say the attack appears to be the work of a terror cell. Police have 2 men in custody, a Spanish national and a Moroccan, but they say neither is the driver of the van. American officials were swift to react.
The United States condemns this terror attack, and we will do whatever is necessary to help.
Police say the van swerved from side to side as it sped down this promenade, apparently trying to hit as many people as possible. The Islamic State has claimed responsibility for the attack. ISIS has encouraged the use of vehicles as weapons of terror because the attacks are very difficult to prevent.
Any iconic sort of tourist landmark, any place where people gather, restaurants, squares, you can't protect all of them.
There are police checkpoints on roads leading in and out of Barcelona. Spanish officials have declared 3 days of mourning. Terry Okita, CBS News, Barcelona.
A Billings woman vacationing in Barcelona had just left Las Ramblas 30 minutes or so before that attack unfolded today. Q2's Samantha Harrelson had a chance to speak with her to learn more about her close call. Sammy.
Jay, we've heard from a few people in the area who were in Barcelona at the time of the attack. Thankfully, they are all safe. Janelle Olson, a graduate of West High and MSUB who played basketball at both of those schools, is on vacation in Spain right now. She was on Las Ramblas just about 30 minutes before the attack. She tells us she was tired and decided to head back to her hotel to catch a nap. When she got to her room, the worried texts started to flood in.
We had talked about things like this happening and in the world, but to have it be on a street that we've been at every single day since we've been here, and to have us miss it by, a half an hour to an hour, and then all of a sudden we're getting text messages and calls of, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" It's terrifying. I want to pinch myself and wake up from this.
Olson told me she plans to leave Barcelona tomorrow night and continue on her trip. She said the events of today are proof that you need to be constantly aware of your surroundings. Jay?
All right, thanks, Samantha. Former University of Montana basketball coach Wayne Tinkle, along with his son Trace and Billings product Kendall Manuel, also were in Barcelona today on an Oregon State basketball trip. Coach Tinkle posted on Twitter later this afternoon that his team is safe and sound, but admittedly shaken after witnessing today's attack and its aftermath.
We were having our team pregame meal shortly before 5 p.m. local time when things occurred here on Las Ramblas. People, mad scramble, car, van driving through, literally looking out of our window. We won't show you pictures, but some horrific sights, several fatalities within eyesight of our hotel room.
Coach Tinkle's Oregon State Beavers are in the midst of a team trip to Spain, a trip that includes several exhibition games. In Helena today, city crews are wasting little time to begin the removal of a controversial Confederate fountain from a city park. Last night, the Helena City Commission decided to have the fountain removed so it can avoid any possible violence down the road. Now, first today, water was shut off to the memorial. Then the fountain's brass dome was removed so crews could get a better look at how to start to dismantle it. Right now, no timeline has been set for the fountain's removal. A city engineer telling MTN the memorial will be preserved, but has yet no decision as to where it will end up or what might replace it.
It means so much that this was something so unique to Helena itself. And it's for veterans, and you know, that's one thing that's a veterans. What else comes with it?
And today at that park, people were taking pictures of the controversial fountain and also were doing rubbings of its inscriptions. It took a coroner's jury less than 10 minutes today to clear a Columbus police officer of any wrongdoing in a New Year's Eve traffic stop where the driver fatally shot herself. At the coroner inquest in Stillwater County District Court, the jury found that Officer Kelly Mason acted appropriately during the stop. Mason was standing next to the vehicle she had stopped on suspicion of drunk driving when the driver, 48-year-old Jamie Porter of Belfry, shot herself. As Mason called for backup, Porter shot herself and died at the scene. It is still not clear what caused Porter to end her life. A Billings area man admits he stabbed, beat, and ran over a woman in Glasgow on New Year's Eve. 29-year-old Jay Kohn pleading guilty Wednesday to deliberate homicide for the murder of Evelyn Garcia. In a plea agreement released this morning, prosecutors will recommend an 80-year prison sentence. According to court documents, Witkowski was giving the victim a ride from Billings to Glasgow when Witkowski repeatedly stabbed and beat Garcia with a tire iron. Investigators say the victim either jumped from the vehicle or may have been pushed out. Witkowski then ran over Garcia before fleeing the scene. Prosecutors say Witkowski was likely high on methamphetamine at the time. A passerby spotted Garcia in the road. She was hospitalized but died 3 days later. Witkowski has been in the Valley County Jail since his arrest back in January. Well, although there are no new fires burning on our side of the state, the skies were certainly smoky today. I'm sure you noticed it. Bob, where did all that smoke come from?
That's the $64,000 question. A lot of people asked me too. So we went to NASA, see if we could take a look at their MODIS satellite. And here's what we found. You can see Missoula over there, little red dots. That's where we have some big wildfires there. So follow the smoke plume from Missoula to Butte all the way down around to the Billings area. And it continues to move into eastern Montana tonight. This is actually a fresh picture from what we had at 5:30. And so now what's happening? Well, because the fires are so bad in the western part of the state, we still have an air quality alert for around Sealy Lake, Missoula, and Butte now for basically unhealthy to hazardous air that you breathe out there. And now here's some good news. At least the red flag warning for eastern Montana has expired and not been updated. But now we have another new red flag warning starting tomorrow for the western part of the state. We could see more wildfires break out there as well. We'll have more in your forecast in a few more minutes. Jay?
All right. Thank you, Bob. In Lockwood, a black bear has been making the rounds, and this time it's caught on video. Now, this video was taken Wednesday afternoon just off of Box Canyon Road up in Emerald Hills by homeowner Cynthia St. Charles. She said the bear went for a dip in her backyard koi pond, then helped itself to some plants. Before she started the video, she says the bear spent some time in her yard, ate some apples off of one of her apple trees, and then came face to face with one of her dogs.
I heard the dog barking, and she was, it was a really sharp, scared bark, and I could tell she was in the garage, so I went down. The garage door was open, and I was very surprised to see the dog and the bear having a standoff right in my garage. I was just shocked to see the bear in the garage. But when the bear saw me, it did move on out.
Fish, Wildlife and Parks says this is just the second time the agency has heard about this particular bear. Game wardens say they'll only take action if the bear becomes a problem. Still ahead on tonight's 10 o'clock news, music is helping Alzheimer's patients regain parts of their lives. We'll show you that coming up. Plus, an art exhibit combines the beauty of the outdoors with some beautiful sculptures. We'll show you. And later in sports tonight, what a lineup at the Yellowstone River Roundup Rodeo. We've got highlights coming up from a star-studded night one.
You're watching MTN News with Jay Kohn and Janelle Slade. Storm Tracker weather with Bob McGuire. And sports with Scott Green.